I've corrected my message today. It's in orange, so, you know.
Sweet. All right. Let us begin. Hello, everyone. Welcome. This is the 19th annual Ron Herring Mission of Service Award and the second annual Bill Kauth Excellence in Community Award presentation for the Mankind Project USA. First, let me say I received a note from a silverback from Joe Lauer in Wendell, Massachusetts, reminding me that today is also the 25th, and this right now is the 25th anniversary of Ron Herring's death. So it was right around this time 25 years ago. So, and for the last 19 years, we have honored Ron Herring by presenting the Mission of Service Award to men or groups of men who are living extraordinary missions out in the world. I've got some fantastic presenters today. I'm going to actually disappear for part of the call. Dan Baldwin is here from the Mankind Project USA, representing as the Circle and organizational lead. Daryl Handsome is here from the Greater Carolinas area. He is one of the co-stewards, and he's also a former Ron Herring Award winner. Z Newell is here. Z is a formal Mission Circle co-chair. Z has been active. He's a mission maniac. He's been active in this work for a long time and a beautiful guy. Jose Mondello, who is the just past chairman of the Mankind Project USA. Thank you, Jose, for being here. And with great gratitude and joyitude, I should say, I welcome Jim Katona, who is the current Mission Circle lead. And I'm going to hand it off to Jim to say a few words and get the presentation started. Thank you very much, Jim. Welcome. You'll have to take yourself off mute.
I did. So thank you, Boyson, and thank you, men. So all the men that you just mentioned helped me look good and make my job real easy. So thank you. And mission, so we honor living our mission today. And a mission statement provide direction and define purpose. And here at MKP, we find that mission statements can prove to be exceptionally beneficial for one's life. And as the ambassador to the spirit of harmonious cooperation, I nurture and empower the divine child within. A personal mission statement can also provide clarity and help steer all of one's attentions in the same direction. And thank you for joining us today as we honor the men in the Mankind Project that are impacting the world through living their mission. Thank you.
Oh, and Dan, do you want to share screen and start us off?
Yeah, are we working it well here?
Yes, we're doing great.
Awesome. Go ahead, Boyson. I'm sharing the screen.
So Jose did a beautiful job yesterday. Jose, I'll rely on you again today. So welcome to the 19th Annual Mission of Service Award. Let's go to the next slide and just show our presenter names again. There we all are, happy. And let's go to the first slide, the first award.
First award.
So for tonight, first recipient, we have Dave Claus. His mission is I heal the world by making safe space for inclusive and generative conversation. They have served as public defender in Alameda County for 21 years, representing poor people accused of serious crimes. He speaks often about emotional resilience and secondary trauma in the profession, and coaches and mentors lawyers dealing with burnout and anxiety. He also is a Hollow Bone Sand priest, an AKP LIT, a blogger, a poet, and a Burning Man community leader. Dave truly lives a life of mission and service. He has been married for 20 years. He has 2 teenagers. And he has been appointed most recently as the interim executive director for the newly launched Boys to Men and Girls to Women Bay Area organization. Kim B., fire tender from the Northern California area. Thank you for your service, Dave. And let's congratulate this man internally and when you see him. He was yesterday night in our presentation, so I trust that he might not be here today. And our next presenter.
Just for a second, I see there's a Klaus-Dieter.Karthahagen as here. Is he related to Dave at all? Do we know?
That's one of our German recipients, I think.
That's what I think so as
Yeah.
well. So, all right, I'll move on to the next slide. Just wanted to make sure we're being inclusive here.
Thank
Here
you,
we go.
Dan. And the next presenter is Darrell Hansen.
And welcome, Chuck Darby. Chuck's mission, to create a world that celebrates diversity by honoring and nurturing all the children. Chuck has worked at the Indiana School for the Deaf for over 45 years, supporting diversity on campus and in the community, as well as providing live access to live theatrical and musical events through American Sign Language. He has also coached the champion Indiana School for the Deaf Academic Bowl team. Chuck has interpreted over 250 plays, including Shakespeare and Broadway musicals, and concerts, including the Indianapolis Children's Choir, Indianapolis Men's Chorus. Chuck has also volunteered on the Indiana Suicide Prevention Hotline and the Damien Center Buddy Program, providing emotional and educational support to people with AIDS and their families. So let's honor Wild Mustang of Mid-America, Chuck Darby. And Chuck was here last night.
Oh,
Thank you. See, you're next.
Our next recipient from Central Plains community is Corey Wren, Golden Badger. Corey's mission is to create a world of love and acceptance by leading from my heart. For 10 years, Corey served on the board of the Siouxland Community Health Center, the last 5 as board chairman. While on the board, he spearheaded the building of a $13 million facility, including the only HIV unit in Western Iowa. The health center serves the neediest and the newest members of the community. Currently, he serves as chairman of the board at Sunrise Retirement Community, where they recently built a new $10 million nursing home. He's also chairman of the finance committee of the Siouxland Foundation. Corey believes the measure of a society is how we care for those who cannot care for themselves. That's very powerful. By leading from my heart, he says, he feels he can really make a difference for people. By working with large organizations, he leverages his talents to change the world one person at a time. Let's give a heartfelt congratulations to Corey Wren from the Central Plains community for this award.
oh,
And I'm honored to present our next recipient, Michael Bross. His mission is to create a world of open hearts and deep connection. As the primary counselor at the Florida School of Massage, Michael has been a mentor, a friend, and an inspiration to hundreds of students completing their massage therapy program. He also offers an elective for men introducing principles of men's work. He's a Vietnam combat veteran, and Michael has been an inspiration, offering talks at the local veteran hospital, institutions in the Gainesville area, and other places where he can speak about his experience. He helps people understand the wounding that happens to our young men and women in service to our country. He has returned to Vietnam 6 times using his skills as a body worker and has spending time with many children and adults that have been ravaged by the effects of the Agent Orange. He has also had the privilege to work on some of the North Vietnamese Army veterans, therefore his former enemies. This connection has been instrumental in his own healing process. Gentle Dragon from the Florida area is another recipient of this award tonight, and let's celebrate his mission of service. Thank you, Michael. So Daryl, would you like to have our next presenter, or see, you would like to do that? He says sure, and you are muted, see.
Okay, our next recipient from EST Canada East is Jean-Guy Hui, I believe, or I'm going to take a stab at that. And that's Courageous Wolf. Jean-Guy's message: I create a confident world by letting people make their own choices. Involved in his community for more than 30 years, both in the sports field and at the social level, he has been very involved. 12 years ago, he was the founding president of Challenge 255, which has since become the major event with more than 50,000 visitors last year. It generates tens of thousands of dollars, which are reinvested in the well-being of the municipality of Bai-du-Feb through the nonprofit Recreo Jeunesse groups, a program to develop and implement infrastructure, equipments, buildings, and facilities for recreation, sports, and other activities for young people, and to financially assist all the nonprofit organizations in the community carrying out recreational activities and cultural activities aimed at increasing the quality of life of the population in the Nicolette-Yamaska RCM. He is also sentinel to the Quebec Association for Suicide Prevention. That's a lot of activity that I'm sure springs right from the well of his vision and mission. So let's give a congratulations to Jean-Guy Hui from the Canada East community.
Excellent. I think Frank is from the Ontario area. Is that want to come and say something about that? Hello, Frank. Are you there? Yeah, I'll unmute you. Hold on. Hello, Frank.
Hi, I got Hank with me here, okay?
Okay, that's for Hank. This is for Jean-Guy. Should I wait for Frank? Then wait for you for Frank?
Yeah.
I mean, all right, sorry about that. All right, we'll move on to our next one.
And Daryl, would you like to present the next recipient tonight?
Okay, thank you, Jose.
I don't know if you're muted.
I messed up. I got rid of him. So could you cover for me for a second and have somebody else present this one?
I will present Bill Newberry, majestic buffalo from Mid-America North. And his mission is speaking my truth. I create safety and healing. Bill works as a chemical dependency counselor with a specialty in men's sexual trauma that leads to addictions and mental health problems. He has worked with men and women. He has worked in a prison with men who have been sexually and physically abused. He spent 2 years working at the Grafton Correctional Institution Reintegration Center in a therapeutic community named Stepping Stones. This is a 12 to 18-month treatment program where incarcerated men live together in a dorm and participate in group therapy for 8 to 10 hours per day, 5 days a week. He worked with men who have been sexually and physically abused. This is where Bill found that talking about his being a survivor of childhood sexual abuse formed his mission. He continues to work in his job as a chemical dependency counselor to help and connect with people with sexual trauma. Bill is looking to start a prison program in Ohio, similar to the Herical Circle Project. Congratulations, Bill. Thank you for all what you do for men in trouble.
Oh.
And Daryl, would you like to present Alan Case?
I'd be honored. Welcome, Alan Kay. Alan's mission is I create a world of healing and connection by reaching out with kindness, compassion, and courage. And Alan does that. Alan currently serves as the multicultural coordinator for the Greater Carolinas area. Alan, along with his wife Nancy and children, created, coordinated, and sponsored the Better Dads Festival last June, the 17th of 2017. Alan participates and encourages volunteers and other community groups too, such as the Buncombe County Council on the Aging, Buncombe County Violence Prevention Plan, the music and dance traditions of the Cherokee at the Blue Ridge Community College, and Dad's Group, a bilingual open circle for fathers. Alan inspires through action, and I can think of no other men more deserving of this prestigious award. So let's welcome Courageous Buck, who is also Majestic Buck of the area, Carolinas area. Welcome, Alan.
And Alan is here today, and I'm going to unmute him. Welcome, Alan. I think he's here, but I saw an Alan on the, Alan, are you there? Okay. We will go on to the next one then. Next one is Bill Kauth Award. I'll be doing this one. We have 111 communities of MKP in the United States here, and this is our second year doing the Bill Kauth Excellence in Community Award. This is where we pick two communities, one a sustaining community, which is a larger community of 40+ men that are active, and there's also a developing community that we'll be doing later on, which is between the numbers of 10 and 39. So really excited about this award as we move towards we work in the project of a community of men making a difference. And I know we have Bill Kauth today, actually online, I think, here. So I'm going to ask him maybe if he wants to spend some, say a couple words around the Bill Kauth Community Excellence Award as well. Bill, I'm going to unmute you now.
He's muted.
Oh.
Hey there, go ahead, Bill.
I've got my wife's email up there. I've so enjoyed just watching this process and these beautiful men being honored for this great work in the world. I was here yesterday too, and saw the guys from England and around the planet get awarded. I was really happy that that film, The Work, got an award. That is a fabulous film, by the way. I've so enjoyed it. It touched my heart profoundly. And I'm also thrilled that that communities are finally being honored in such a good way, and terrific creative projects emerging. So with that, thanks for the blessing, man. It's almost embarrassing. I'm a happy guy.
Thank you, Bill, for creating all this. And so our first award goes to a sustaining community, and it is the Greater Asheville of Greater Carolinas area. Community coordinator currently Kevin Williams. It's a community that has about 10 I groups in it, 265 grads, 22 new graduates just last year coming through Greater Asheville, and 45 of the men being supporting contributing members for helping the project in their area. Greater Asheville embraces the I, the we, and the world. They're just incredible around enrollment and their use of open men's groups. They regularly bring their iGroups together to share best practices, have fun, and practice their skills. In Greater Asheville, when you're there, you really feel you're a part of a men's community making a difference. Greater Asheville leads the way in what's possible for MKP community. They dreamed big in 2017 with the inspiration and leadership of Alan and Nancy Kay and the whole family. And the whole community rallied, and they took on the ambitious projects of holding a citywide event called the Better Dads Festival. They brought in vendors and sponsors and musicians, artists, service providers for a day-long event showcasing and celebrating Dad. This event was a huge success, and it's going to be continued this year in 2018 and probably even grow bigger. So just what's possible when a bunch of men get together in the form of the we of community and decide to do something in the world. Going a little bit more in detail, they hold fun events, they have incredible engagement efforts, they really take care of their new brothers when they come off the weekend and welcome them into a sense of community. They involve families and women and children in what they do. And in this community in itself, they have strong elder, LKS, GBTQ, young warriors, and diversity activities. And they do a lot of support for their circles, again, open men's circles and hosting trainings like IGFTs and the gathering of the I groups. A lot of support for NWTAs because they really want to grow their community. And they took lead on hosting an NWTA themselves and enrolled 30+ men in under 2 weeks to have a really super successful training using things like Meetup, Facebooks, and distributing flyers. And in mission, they show up strong. Better Dads Festival being the big one, but they have elder support initiatives, mentorship programs. They're involved in the Blue Ridge Pride Parade every year, and many of the men also are journeymen for a Rites of Passage Adventure Weekend for boys. So let's just take a moment and just really honor the men of Greater Asheville for all they're doing and the way they're showing up in the world. I'm looking, Alan Kay has been a part of this, as well as Daryl Hansom. So do either of you want to say something about Greater Asheville? Daryl?
Yeah, just honored to be for the community, and humbled. We're humbled to receive this, and we're so inspired by Bill Cobb's visit to our community last year. So we are just men doing our work and living our mission, and we are very proud to be honored. Thank you.
Asheville rocks.
They do.
I love Asheville. Yeah.
Thank you, Daryl, and the Asheville community. And our next recipient is Dennis Nicely. He was yesterday in our presentation, and Dennis is from the San Diego area. His animal name is Swan with Balls. His mission is to co-create a compassionate world by seeking first to understand, loving unconditionally, and blessing. Dennis is a member of the Jill San Gay, Lesbian, and Straight Education Network of Sexual Orientation or Gender Identity Expression. He's also a presenter of the LGBTQ+ awareness trainings for teachers, counselors, social workers, administrators, and school psychologists in schools and universities. And he has done that for the past 15 years. He currently serves on the Jill San Diego board as a co-chairman and the Gay Student Association / Gay Student Teacher Association outreach. He's the chairperson for that in the San Diego area. Yeah, I mentioned yesterday that the work he is doing in his local community and the support he is offering us in MKP at the Equitable Community Initiative is remarkable, and pretty honored to work with him in the ECI and presenting him as one of our recipients. Let's celebrate Dennis' modeling of service for the world. Thank you.
Oh.
And let's continue with the presenters. And Daryl.
Yes, let's welcome Chris Newman. Chris is an electrical engineer by training and has been and continues to go into jails in Boulder County, Colorado, to support the men on the inside. He is aware that men in the correctional system face many difficult issues and emotions and are hungry for a safe venue to do personal work. Chris is accompanied by men from the MKP Colorado community. The group goes in every 2 weeks. The men on the inside are very appreciative of the work facilitated by Chris and friends, and many of the men on the inside have felt the profound effects of the work. So let's welcome and honor Chris Newman, Compassionate Lion of the Colorado area.
Oh. And she will be presenter our next recipient.
Our next Ron Herring Mission of Service recipient is Larry Johnson from the Northwest community. Larry's animal name is Two Bears. His mission, I nurture and heal this world by restoring her resources with compassion. Hundreds of children and families have benefited from Larry Johnson's service. He has dedicated himself to community since he was a child and encourages the youth he works with to take up the same path. He has served as president of Kiwanis Board of Directors twice. He serves youth as a high school Key Club advisor and a Cub Scout chartering agent. He fundraises and actively supports charities, including YMCA and Boys and Girls Club. He volunteers as support staff for events such as Parks and Recreation, community concerts, and festivals. And Larry has served as a Red Cross DAT volunteer, providing on-call disaster recovery help, as well as maintaining vehicles and relief supplies. Larry is a Holiday Salvation Army bell ringer and prepares and delivers food baskets. He has been a trusted servant in AA for 35 years. DAT, by the way, is the Disaster Action Team. I used to be on that years ago. It's going to help the victims of fires and things, and so it's awesome work. Let's give a warm congratulations to Larry Johnson from the Northwest community.
And our next recipient is Robert Conway, Watchful Order from upstate New York. His mission is I create a world where all people can feel valued by giving my love freely and by embracing diversity. Robert lived his mission through volunteer service to non-profit focus on personal growth, leadership, mentorship, and community service. He served as a board member and vice president for Life Results, where he overhauled the technologies and processes used for enrollment, marketing, and finances. He also serves as a community coordinator for NKP of upstate New York. He considers his greatest achievement in this role to be the screening of the movie The Mass You Live In, which drew almost 300 attendees and created a good deal of positive local publicity for NKP. Robert also volunteers for the the Mahatma Gandhi Institute for Nonviolence in Rochester, New York, where he's a member of the marketing committee. So thank you, Robert, for what you do. I don't know if he's in the crowd today, but if he's here, I would like to invite him to speak by himself. Now let's thank his recognition and appreciation for his role in this world. And our next presenter will do Christopher Anderson. Daryl?
Yes, Christopher Anderson. Christopher's mission, I create a world of unconditional love and unity through modeling behaviors and personal accountability. Christopher Anderson is a veteran, a father, a husband, and a son who gives back to the world by living his mission of unconditional love and unity every day. Christopher is an Air Force Junior ROTC commander at a local high school and works with youth on a daily basis. He created the Feeling Circle, where over 120 plus students learned about accountability and authenticity through their words, deeds, and actions. Chris has led over 1,400 combined community service hours in the Mississippi Gulf Coast region. As part of his continued Air Force mission, he leads these circles to develop citizens of character dedicated to the service of our nation and local community. So let's welcome and honor Christopher Anderson, Loving Wolverine of South Central area.
Oh.
See, you are next.
Okay, our next recipient from the South Central community is Donald Breeding, Steadfast Rhino. Donald's mission: I create a world of healing through confident leadership. Donald is a cardiac nurse at a hospital in the medical center in Houston. During the Harvey floods, he walked 4 to 5 miles through floodwater to get to the hospital he works at. The hospital was surrounded by water, and the nurses and doctors inside were trapped. He relieved his co-workers on arrival and then worked for 3 days to keep his patients alive. He was not scheduled to come in or asked to walk through floodwaters. Then Maria hit Puerto Rico, and Donald flew to the island to provide medical services to isolated areas that had no medical facilities or supplies. He stayed there for over a week treating people. Donald served as an Army medic. He's a registered nurse and father and brother. Let's congratulate Ron Herring Award recipient Donald Breeding from South Central. Good job, man.
Oh.
And our next recipient is Nick LaRue from the Southwest area. Nick is involved in New Mexico wildlife rescue and preservation. He works with the New Mexico Wild Horse Association, helping preserve wild mustangs. He is retired as a school teacher and continues to do substitutions in his local elementary school. Nick is involved in horse therapy on the Navajo Reservation within the juvenile justice system and with veterans and first responders. He helped sponsor Wild Friends for 25 years, a program that teaches kids to write and fight for wildlife in New Mexico. His business is Backroads Wrangler, taking visitors to off-road New Mexico historic sites and educating them on the history and preservation of these historic sites. Nick shares his passion for life and his love for nature with those around him. And let's celebrate Coyote Son from Southwest area. Life in Mission, Mission of Life. Thank you, Nick.
Oh.
And Darryl will present our next recipient.
Welcome, Whitboy. I'm sorry. Okay. And Welcome's mission is I create a world of love and understanding through building bridges and removing barriers that separate people. Welcome is a life skills program specialist and motivational speaker to schools and underprivileged and disadvantaged diverse communities, speaking to at-risk young people and community members to make choices for a better life. Welcome creates circles of sharing where parents, fathers, and sons can engage on issues of being a father and a man. When they engage, they go into dialogue about what it is like to acknowledge and respect women and deal with issues of sexism, gender-based violence, and issues of LGBT people. The impact is to build understanding and open-mindedness, inspiring the spirit of Ubuntu. I am because you are, and togetherness. So let's welcome Whitboy Unicorn.
Hey guys,
South Africa.
can they see me?
It's very dark.
It's
Yes,
very dark
we
in
have,
South Africa.
we have some men here from South Africa. I've promoted them for panelists. So please, I've unmuted you as well. So welcome. I think we got Francis, and we also have MKP USA South Africa. Go ahead and speak if you'd like to.
Must I speak?
Yeah.
Oh, Francis.
Yes, welcome.
I can see it now.
Cool, welcome.
Must I speak?
Yes, go ahead. We can hear you.
Should I say good evening or good morning?
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Yeah. What can I say? I'm very surprised and honored to be given this award, and yeah, and I just want to thank all my brothers who have thought that this is I don't know, it's like, you know, you work all your life for the betterment of your community and society, and you sometimes think that nobody sees the kind of work you do and nobody recognizes the kind of work that you do, but in the background there's always people that honor and support you, and I'm really thankful. And I'm not gonna lie but say that I've never thought that in my wildest dreams, and I have a lot of wild dreams, that this could have ever been possible. Coming from where I'm coming from and having experienced what I've experienced, this has been a real long journey, and it's still a journey, and which I really appreciate, and which I'm and MKP has meant a lot for me, and has done a lot for me, and is continuing to do a lot for me. So therefore, I'm grateful for that. Yeah, I don't know what to say, but just thank you, and thank you for the support and the love and understanding.
Aho.
Aho.
I just want to say, from Francois Everard here, I went to one of Welcome's events this morning, and I saw young people really being brought into the world in a way, and taught things that have to do with heart and making a better life. So welcome, fantastic work.
Thank you, Francois.
Aho. Thank you.
Aho.
Do we have Richard? Do you want to say something? I see your hand's raised. I will go ahead and add you as well just a moment. And one more second. It takes a second for panelists to come on over. And go ahead, Richard. We can, whoop.
Hi, Dan. How are you?
Good, Richard. How are you? Go ahead and speak.
Good. Good to see your face. Welcome.
Hey, my brother.
Well done, brother. Well, it's so honored to be sitting here seeing your smiling face. So honored. My heart is full.
Thank you, my brother. I really appreciate that.
I'll see you in the next I group, brother.
Oh.
Oh.
The world just got a whole lot smaller for me, and I just want you all to know that. So this is just too cool.
Yeah.
Hello, brother.
Aho.
Hello, Francois.
Thank you, men in South Africa, for joining us tonight.
Thank you for the blessing.
Yeah, I just want to add to that. You know, I was in California the last time we did this award in person, when they used to have all the gatherings. And when it started to go online, I was like, you know, it's not going to be the same. And it's true. It's not the same. It's even better in so many ways to be able to bring these people from all countries in and have them be seen. So blessings to all you guys in the tech scenes in the background. And you heard what Welcome just said. That was powerful to see that you are finally seen, you know, to do all this work from your heart, not knowing if you're seen or not, but then being seen. It's so beautiful.
I got a couple more from South Africa that do want to speak, and I want to honor them for showing up here in their time. So hold on, we got Alan coming in. Hopefully I can do this right. I hope I got the right thing. Promote panelist. Okay, Alan, you can go ahead and speak, and then Mark, I see you have your hand raised too, and I'll bring you in as well. And I need to switch on over to unmute you guys, so hold on. Alan, you are unmuted, and so are you now, Mark.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, Alan, I hear you.
Yeah. It's Alan Blue Crane, and I'd like to honor my brother, Welcome, who's flown with me over the last 6 months and created a synergy between us that is stronger than 100 men. I love you, my brother. Thank you.
Oh.
Oh.
And Mark, did you want to share something?
Yes, I do. Thank you. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yep. Excellent. Mark, Magical Kodiak Bear, welcome. I served as a rookie on your weekend, and I know part of your story, not your whole story, but I know certain parts of your story that are in the public domain that you share. I live 5 miles away from the area that you spent 23 years of your life in. And I just want to honor you for the transformation, for making a difference to your life and to those that you engage with in your community and the MKP community. I honor you, brother.
Oh.
Okay, I think we got all the South African men. What a beautiful, beautiful turnout and support. Thank you for all you're doing.
Oh, there is one more. I'll get this one, Dan.
Okay, thank you.
Dion, promote to panelist. Dion, hold on just a moment, brother. This is juicy. All right, Dion, you are unmuted. Go ahead.
Yeah, I did my Warrior Weekend in September last year, and Welcome was staffing on that weekend. And he supported me in the most amazing ways. And yeah, we just had a really very special connection. And I can attest to Welcome's character of just wanting to serve, and the way that he does it is just incredible. And he really, really deserves this award. He is a true brother and a true part of this nation here in South Africa, building a better community and better life for all. So welcome, my brother. You are an amazing, amazing person, and I honor you.
Oh.
Ubuntu, Umoja.
Thank you.
Thank you again, man. Should I go on?
Yeah. Yes. I want to ask C to do our next presentation.
You want me to do it? Okay, great. Our next Ron Herring Mission of Service Award recipient is Hank Ketelar's Curious Monkey. I am a monkey myself, Hank, and I'm honored to be honoring another monkey from Canada in Ontario. Hank's mission is to live my life authentically. For 14 years, he ran every Sunday evening ran the Seekers, where speakers covered some aspect of spirituality. Being involved in municipal politics, he was a main cog to get bike paths onto the city streets of London, Ontario, and Canada. He's a caregiver for his partner and a physical and emotional healer. Hank is a man who strives to be authentic in all aspects of his life. He constantly seeks to become aware of himself in relation to the rest of the world that he exists in. He shares his insights with anyone who welcomes in his abilities to assist and move the individual to a better place in that person's world. He works with spirit and intuition in his awareness of life and the ability of all persons in order to attain a higher level of appreciation and personal functionality in each of our lives. So congratulations to you, Hank, on receiving this most prestigious award.
And Hank is with us tonight, so today, and he's already elevated as one of the panelists, so he can speak right now if he's around here.
Well, this was a big surprise to me, this whole presentation, and I'm so grateful that that I'm seen, because I really do enjoy very much the beauty in each person, and the preciousness of my fellow man, and that's what allows me to experience the greater heaven on earth. And I'm so grateful for this honor and so appreciative.
Thank you for being who you are, man.
Cool.
Thank you for modeling, Hank. And our next recipient, we have two men, James Mosley and Floyd Rowell from Wisconsin, strong bull and urban healer on wild horse. James and Floyd are facilitators at the Alma Center. The Alma Center works with men who have been convicted of the domestic violence offense. They have extensively healing and treatment programs for them. They each work many evenings facilitating classes. In fact, Floyd had a 6-month stretch in which he never took a day off, and some nights slept over at the Alma Center. Men who go through their programs are 86% less likely to reoffend. James is a mentor to men in many other avenues in addition to the Alma Center. Floyd is in the running for 40 under 40 in Milwaukee. He has also a core member of the NKPUSA Alma Center cycling team in 2014's Ride Braid as a brand new cyclist. And he was in, neither of them were yesterday night here, but I have Boysen who can speak from them some words.
I'm going to actually step aside and have Joel Burbach, who was the gentleman, I think, who introduced Floyd to the Mankind Project. Joel, you there?
Yes, I am.
You're hot pink.
Okay. All right. Yes. So we put together a bicycle ride across Iowa some years ago. Boysen was a great support for that. And we brought in the Alma Center, and Floyd was a part of that. And Floyd had practically really never ridden a bicycle before. And he signed up for this event where he rode 400 miles. And that's really nothing compared to the work that this man is doing in the Milwaukee community. I've been at his office. He incorporates many of the MKP practices into his work and helping other men. He has created an entire room dedicated to something that he calls the Wisdom Circle. And he takes Black men who have been incarcerated and who have gotten out of prison and don't want to go back to prison anymore. And he supports them. And they've had, as it's mentioned, an 86% success rate. And I mean, that saves the Wisconsin taxpayer probably about $50,000 a person every year. And so that's huge just from a fiscal, but what it means to the life of these men and the men that they help in the community that they're from is just huge. And James is also a great contributor and really a wise man. And it's just great to have them a part of the community. And Milwaukee is a very troubled community, and these men are very bright, shining lights. And I'm complete with that.
Oh.
And Daryl, you are the next presenter.
Okay. And welcome, Ben Athron Zeman. Ben's mission: I work for gender equality and to stop gender-based violence. Ben is a spokesperson for the National Organization for Men Against Sexism. He has given anti-violence anti-sexist, and sexual assault prevention performances and presentations in 44 states and around the world: Canada, China, New England, Turkey, South Africa, India, and the Czech Republic. Ben has spoken at military bases, colleges, high schools, public theaters, conferences, houses of worship, and juvenile detention facilities. For the past 17 years, Ben has worked as a prevention educator for rape crisis centers, domestic violence programs, and state coalitions. He is an advisory board member for the White Ribbon Campaign in the UK. In 2017, Ben was the keynote speaker at the Voices of Men Fox River Breakfast in Appleton, Wisconsin, with Ron Herring Award winner Shannon Lee Wyman Kneedon. Ben identifies as a recovering sexist and believes every man must challenge violence and sexism in the world and in themselves. So let's honor Ben Zeman, connecting dog of the New England area. And Ben was with us last night to speak.
Oh. And see if you can present John Cryer.
Okay. Here we go. Our next recipient is John Cryer from Canada in Alberta. His animal name is Morning Sun on Water. John has been mentoring men in the Musqueam community, the Indigenous Cree of Alberta, Canada, to step into their power, mentoring men into elder roles in the community, corrections, and in ceremony. John has been leading ceremony and speaking in many events, including the open ceremonies for city events in Red Deer and Wetaskiwin. He also has been working with the Facility of Indigenous Studies as an elder, holding ceremonies for the University of Alberta. To list every event that John has stepped into would be hard to list, as he is so humble about his giveaway. When you sit in ceremony and hear the people talk about his generosity and his connection to ceremony, you know what he has done for the people. John has also led many rites of passage weekends for young people and show them a way of living a good life in ceremony. So we take this moment to ceremoniously honor you, John Cryer, for your work and service in mission. Thank you. Aho matakwease.
Oh. And let's bring in our next recipient, James E. Boswell Jr. from the Mid-America area. Jim is very active in AKP Kentucky, and he is deeply involved in his community. He serves on several community non-profit boards. He's working with his community church to provide dinner once a week for this community and others in need. He works with the drug and alcohol recovery community to support and guide newcomers or those that still struggle. He is retired and a father of six and grandfather to 12, and he's involved by sharing his experience, strength, and hope for the future. He served as the NKP Kentucky president for 2 terms and was on the NKP USA Council for 2 years. Jim was the originator of the NKP Foundation Builders Program and the first membership chair for NKP USA. Thank you, Big Bear with Boy. Your modeling of service to humanity and NKP is being recognized today. Thank you for what you do.
Oh.
And Daryl, please present our next recipient.
Welcome, Bill Berry. Bill's mission: I create a world where grief and loss can be fully known by leading and teaching from the heart of sacred scriptures and doing my own work. In June of 2003, Bill founded Living from the Heart, community with the intention of bringing the kind of bioenergetic work that we do in MKP to the Christian community. With skills that he learned in MKP, Bill has led over 300 weekends in 14 different formats and has helped more than 1,500 men and women. He is a gifted and intuitive facilitator. Bill keeps the cost of his weekends to a minimum and allows people to attend for whatever they can afford. A large number of men have come through NWTA as a result of Bill's encouragement and teaching. He says he could never have done all this without the change that he experienced on his own weekend and the work he has done on himself as a result. Bill's work has had a monumental effect on the lives of very many men and women. So let's welcome and honor nurturing grandfather Buffalo of the Los Angeles area, Bill Berry.
Oh.
Oh.
And then you're next for a community recipient.
Yeah, it's time for our second Bill Kauth Award, Community Excellence. This goes to a developing community, which is a smaller community, basically 10 to 39 men. You know, one of the great things around the Gulf Coast is they started and now they have grown into a sustaining community as all the work that they have done. The community coordinator is Chris Anderson and the community emeritus is David Wilson, community coordinator emeritus. They have 3 I-groups trial, really just 2 and an open circle that they run each month. About 40 NWTA grads, 8 of them coming from 2017. The MKP Gulf Coast community grew from a developing community to having over 40 people because what they do is they involve women and children and families. They're all part of the community. They help start a strong woman within the organization that partners with a lot of their activities, and they regularly hold fun events, fundraisers, and ongoing educational opportunities. Mission, mentoring, and support is alive in Gulf Coast. From raising over $30,000 to help a family adopt 3 neglected children, supporting a police officer who just got shot, or their involvement with the VA, women's shelters, and youth and family programs there in Mississippi. In Mississippi, they are known by judges and social service agencies for their always say yes attitude when it comes to supporting someone in need. To talk about some of their key aspects in this community, again, they do a lot of fun events. They bring the 2 I-groups together and invite women and children to come and celebrate their togetherness. They do a lot of engagement efforts, and new brothers are very closely held afterwards back into this feeling of community that they're a part of. They do mentoring activities for other MKP places where MKP is not around. So in Alabama, we're starting to get a group of people that are starting to come together and form an I-group in Alabama. They do a lot of support for circles, including IGFT, bringing in traveling magicians from throughout the Southeast, South Central areas to come in and teach great skills. And they have a strong value for mentoring. They have open I-groups, they use Meetup and web pages, and they get a lot of referrals coming from their connections with allied organizations like judges and churches. They have a church that allows them to use their place and is very, very supportive of their community and all that they're doing. And just in mission, that's really what got us in deciding to choose them, is all their connections with the different places in their own backyard. David Wilson was here last week or yesterday. I don't think we have anybody from them this for today, but he went on and shared so much around what they do, co-gender activities, support for firemen if they get hurt. It's just so beautiful to see just even a small community like this show up in such a beautiful way in their own backyard. So let's give a shout out and hand raise to the Gulf Coast community in Mississippi, part of the South Central area.
Oh, and C. Newell will be presenting our next recipients. You're muted.
Okay. So our next Ron Herring Award goes to a group of men, 3 men who are doing boys to men mentoring in Netzwerk Deutschland. Those men are Wendelin Moser, Roaring Lion, Klaus-Dieter Kauthagen, Friendly Bear, and Jorg Ulrich Theis, Happy Magic Turtle, with Dragonfire rocking with the Buffalo. All right. That's almost as up there with Steve Fishner's animal name. That's beautiful. So Boys to Men Mentoring in Deutschland, Wendelin, Klaus, and Jorg are among the leaders of the Boys to Men Network in Germany. They have been taking active roles in growing this organization since 2011. Their main focus is to organize rites of passage adventure weekends for teenage boys in Germany. They encourage other men, both initiated and non-initiated, to become mentors for these boys. They bring together mentors and journeymen by offering J groups through Germany. Journeyman groups. By doing that, they are supporting a growing number of young men during the transition from boys to men. And I just want to say that the work with younger men is amazing, and the more work that gets done with younger men, the less men we may have to bring into the NWTA itself. We always want to bring men into the NWTA, not just for healing work, but to capture these young men and give them active role models at the younger age is really powerful work. So bless you, Wendelin, Klaus-Dieter, and Jorg, for your work with these young men.
And we have Wendelin.
And Klaus as well.
Oh.
Awesome. Sure. Guten Tag.
Hi,
Guten Tag.
Thank you very much for that honor. And we already got the presentation back in our community in Germany. And we are very pleased to be seeing the work we do. And on the other hand, it's very easy to do the work because these young men, they don't have all the crises, all the divorces, all the bad, what the 40, 50 years have already behind them. So if we start to get these young men into their responsible part of their archetypes and all what they are, then they will have not all these shit what we older one got when we started to do some initiation work.
Right.
That is really what keeps me going to go forward, because if we heal and give these young men the tools and to be good fathers, to be good men, they will be good mentors and good grandfathers, and then generations will keep on going. And that's it. I hope.
Oh, me too.
Gutes Arbeit.
Thank you.
Yeah, my heart is touching. Thank you. No more words.
Oh.
Thank
you, brothers.
Thank you. Thank you for being here at this late hours for South Africa and Germany. And so our next recipient is Steve Baker. His mission: by living in a state of gratitude and acknowledging all that my life adventure has given me, I offer support to others to find their own truth and wisdom and walk their own path. Steve Baker is from the UK and Ireland region, and over the past 20 years, Steve has to help transform Onstone Grange from a derelict property to a habitable one with beautiful gardens. Steve is the current chair of the board at Onstone and have helped to develop the Onstone Grange mission as unity in diversity. Onstone is a place for self-development groups, including MKP for one, NWTA, and Women in Power for the equivalent of the NWTA. Regularly offers lodges at his home in Sheffield to offer support to men and women as they plot their course in life. He has taken the lodge to other places as well, notably Bud Hatfield Festival. He has been supporting Journeyman for the last 5 years, taking the lodge down to Wales and Strong, where teen boys are taken through a ROPA, Rite of Passage. Thank you, Steadfast Bear from the UK and Ireland region for modeling service.
Oh.
Do we have any men from the UK and Ireland here tonight?
I do not think so. If you so, just type something in right now.
Okay. So please, Darrell, if you can present the next recipients.
Okay, so we have 2 recipients, Gethin Aldos and Miles McCleary. And their mission: I create a world of light by being an unstoppable force of positivity and by using the virtual world as a vessel for healing. This award is presented to honor the power of men working together as a team. Gethin Aldos, Miles McCleary, Jairus McCleary, Eon McCleary, and others who directed and produced the documentary, The Work, a powerful film set entirely inside Folsom Prison. The Work follows 3 men during 4 days of intensive group therapy with convicts, revealing an intimate and powerful portrait of authentic human transformation that transcends what we think of as rehabilitation. And that's a quote from Letterboxd. These circles were started by Rob Albee of the Inside Circle Foundation, with support of Bob Peterson and Don Morrison, and men from the Sacramento MKP community. Blessings to all for highlighting the power of men's circles, bringing transformation and healing to the forefront of those viewing this award-winning documentary. And so today we honor Revolutionary Digital Wolf and Wildcat of the Metro Tri-State area, Gethin Aldos and Miles McCleary. Welcome, brothers.
Oh.
Great work.
And Noel, will you present Dan Glenn, please?
Yes, our next recipient is Dan Glenn from the Southeast community. And he's, Lindros. Okay, here with us. So Dan's mission: I create a world of balanced reverence and joy through humility and compassion. While Dan describes himself as neighborly, his actions go far beyond that. He is always ready to offer a hand up to those in need. Just in the past year, he has encountered at least 2 people who were down and struggling to get back on their feet. He gave them employment and a place to live until they moved on. That is from the heart. He constantly provides free consulting and advice to others in his business. And in his small farming community of about 60 people, he is always helping others when needed, such as building fences. He donates organic meats to various events and sells his meats at reduced prices for those needing a break. He shares his abundance, including his ideals, values, and outlook. And I've been down to the Southeast quite a bit and have not had a chance to be in touch directly, but I want to say that this description is clear that, Dan, you're just reaching out beyond yourself to give of yourself everything you have. So we honor you today for receiving this award.
Oh.
And you are live as well as the Southeast Zoom manager. I'm not sure who that is. Feel free to say some words.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Yeah, great. I am listening to the presentations. I'm greatly humbled and feel extremely thankful And I feel a little bit like Obama when he received the Nobel Peace Prize. I'm not sure I deserve it, but it will certainly inspire me to do more. I give a big thank you to all the men today who won this award to continue the service, and hope that we inspire more for more people to do more, and to ask those questions on a daily basis of how can we do more. So thank you.
Awesome. Congratulations, man. Jim, you want to say anything?
Yeah, Dan, I just want to congratulate you on behalf of the Southeast area. I've known this was going to happen, and I've been looking forward to it. And we just honor you for all that you've done. And you're the best MOS king we've ever known, that I've ever known in my limited time. I'll make it an I statement. But.
That's where I saw you, man. Yeah, I haven't been down in a couple of years, but bless you. Yes. All right.
All right. That's great. Thank you.
Thank you, brothers.
So our next recognition, our next recipient is a man that is no longer with us in this dimension, but with great honor to speak about his modeling of service to humanity at large, and pretty much to his local Philadelphia area and NKP in general. So Craig Littman is his mission co-create an extraordinary world by embracing Tatas. A man of service. Despite his preference of anonymity, he is known throughout the NKP Philly community for countless acts of generosity. He inspires joy, curiosity, and wonder by the way he embraced life with 2 terminal illnesses. He also exemplified courage, tirelessly co-creating a world of peace by trusting and acknowledging feeling. Craig took his last breath in the world on December 19th, 2017. Craig's exploration of life culminated in the Tatas framework that he created, through which he lived his life with trust, authenticity, transparency, acceptance, and safety. The model was a springboard for creating workshops and is now the subject of a book. This award is bestowed posthumously to a man that I honor to be his friend, and he continues to inspire men in this world, certainly. And we have one of his loved ones with us. Carrie, would you like to say some words?
Sure. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, great. I'm looking at my phone here. So yeah, I just want to say thank you so much. And I think Stuart, Craig's brother, who's also a New Warrior brother, is on the video here. Yes. I don't know if he would want to say anything as well, but I know Craig would be so honored, and I know he was such an inspiration to so many people, and he so loved MKP and being part of his many I groups and being a pit, facilitating pit training. And it's funny, I'm looking at this picture, which I can see that I took this picture, and just so you all know, this was in the sand dunes in Colorado, and what you don't see is the oxygen canister, that Craig had drug out to get out there and take this picture. So he was an inspiration to so many people, and thank you so much on his behalf, and on the behalf of Chelsea and Brielle, his daughters, and the rest of his family. And Stu, I don't know if you have anything to say.
Hi, thank you for letting me share the moment. Can you hear me?
I can.
We got you.
Okay, good. Just thank you very much. And yes, I'm a warrior brother too, and it's a wonderful offering by the community to make this acknowledgement for my brother. Thank you.
Thank you, Stuart, and thank you, Kerry, for being here today.
Thank you for being here.
Yeah, thank you.
So, man, we have arrived to the end of our presentation. I personally certainly believe that the uniqueness of our organization is resides only in the decision and offer of each one of the members of NKP in doing a mission of service in the world and modeling what it represents to be authentic and in integrity. And we can mention all the acronyms that Craig offer to remember him and modeling. There is Rabindranath Tagore wrote this verses, and I slept and dreamt that life was joy. I awoke and saw that life was service. I acted and behold, service was joy. Go in mission, man. Thank you for being here
And
from
Jim
all over the world.
Jim Katona is going to say a few words to bring us to close.
Yeah. So, man, this is my first mission of service award video conference or webinar, whatever it is. And I'm the circle lead for several months now. And this has just been the most awesome experience for me. I'm honored and grateful. And thank you for all the men who make me look so good at what it is that looks like I might be doing. And the world is getting smaller and our circle is getting bigger. And it's just awesome. I'm full of joy and I'm checking out with joyitude. And thank you all. What an honor and a privilege and a blessing it is for all the great things we get to be, for the man I get to be in the world today. Peace out.
Thank you all.
Bye now.
Have a wonderful day.
Blessings, man. Great job.
Thank you.